Tolerance. Or how I learned to start not giving a shit what other people want to do with their lives. Hi, I'm Claire, the unemployable counselor. We're going to take a different approach to this because I'm going to talk about some things like LGBTQ. Partly because this is for here, at the time of this recording, it is, it's Pride Month, June. But they had the Pride Parade today in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. They had events at the Kinsman Park, which has been, from what I understand, is in the top 3 parks for gayness. No, I'm just being stupid. It's just dumb. But I'm going to get into more of that. Okay, listen. We had a Pride Parade today, do all that kind of stuff, right? And then I, of course, as the unemployable counselor and my tech support, went down there and we talked to a few people, walked around, said hi, got to meet a lot of the folks, got to talk to the vendors, hopefully shed a little light on the positivity and make some cash for the people selling some stuff there and some food. And then got a lot of positive responses and a lot of negative responses. Which I kind of figured, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really give a shit about that kind of stuff, right? Just because in my mind, I don't care as long as everyone is of consensual age and they want to be there, right? That's, who cares? And I'm going to talk a little bit about stuff I don't normally talk about, but I'm going to talk about some, we'll just call it theology. Right? Or maybe just viewpoints of how we kind of frame that. But, you know, I grew up in a time where, you know, the big slam in school was, oh, you're so gay. People still do it. You hear teenage boys do it. They don't even, I think, get what they mean by that. But I think, too, it's also about upbringing and how we look at people. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm not big on, like... For me personally, I'm not big on pronouns. I'm not big on all these different identifications for things. You know, I'm not that smart, so I like to keep things simple. But I do acknowledge that it matters a lot to people that I know I care about. So I need to be respectful of that. And honestly, it's more anguish fighting against things that don't really matter to you personally, but it's just because you don't like it, is how I kind of view this. And I could be wrong, and if I am, put in the comments, because this one I actually want to have some discussion about, because this shirt was made by Butt Cheek Bunny Studios. Have a look, man. She's quite the artist. She made this for me. It's the first ever unemployable counselor shirt. It's got the ally little symbol on it because I'm an ally. Right? And yeah, that's what that looks like. And if you like it and you want to buy one, let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can know if you pony up the dough. Okay. Look, okay, well, I look at it this way. Let's get back to what we're talking about here because I'm a little rambly. I had a lot of fun today. It was an exciting time. Got to meet a lot of, you know, fun people, right? They're all decked out, right? And then there's a lot of people who disagree with that, and so be it, but it was a whole lot of fun. I just wish that people could kind of view things more through the lens of, does it really concern you? And we can talk about all kinds of things here too, but I mean, even like when it comes to, you know, the rights of the human being, right? Like, you know, it all boils down to that. You should be able to free to live your life. You don't like it, don't watch. Don't go. Right? You can't omit everything that you don't like off Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and all that stuff. Because there's lots of things out there nobody would like to see. Right? Or they think, oh, right? Look at this, right? One thing I hear a lot is about the veterans. The veterans only have one day. And it's like, you know what? I agree with that 100%. I think the veterans, we should honor those veterans because they fought, they lived and died for our freedom to be able to make our choices of how, you know, we want our lives to be. If we want, you know, they fought so we could live our lives the way we need to live our lives, right? They fought for freedoms. So I do like that, to play devil's advocate for a minute, right? If your argument is that, but they're fighting for the very freedoms you are now trying to circumvent. Think of it that way, right? Just because based off what? Is it man's law? Is it more of a, shall we say, religious view about it? Because I mean, like, there's whole kinds of different discussions we can have about this here. Like, for me, as I look through the lens, it's kind of like I said, if it's consensual and everyone's of age and they want to be there, who cares, right? You have 24-year-old women marrying 88-year-old men that are rich for money, right? I'm sure it's true love, but money probably plays just a little part, right? You have relationships that fall apart for stupidest things. You have people that stay together for, and they're just not happy. That makes everybody miserable. So I mean, honestly, like, who cares? If the homosexual, lesbian, LGBTQ community want to get married and stuff, they absolutely. Like, people got to wake up to the fact that this, there's times are changing. And you can't hold that religious viewpoint because not everyone has that point, right? And you can believe what you want to believe. I'm a big believer of that. You believe what you want to believe because you have the freedom to do that. Again, going back to the people that fought so we can have our freedoms to make the choices for us that we need to make for us, right? So, for me, it's kind of like that. But I can understand where it's like, people look at things through different lenses, depending on their belief system or depending on how they're raised, or maybe their own latent feelings that they don't want to acknowledge because then their whole self-view and world crumbles, right? I think, I think, for sure, like I said, I'm an ally to the community because I have close attachments to individuals that are in that community. So of course I'm going to support them be themselves. Why wouldn't I do that? I wouldn't be a very good person to them if I didn't. That's just the way I look at it. You can view it any way you want because that's your right, right? But I also think that, because free speech, you can say whatever you want. You don't need to be hateful. You can say your opinion in a more tasteful manner than, using all sorts of, slurs and whatnot. But I get too that some people, I think, are just afraid of something that they view outside their normal view of society. And I hate the term normal, but I think they look at it in a way that supports their worldview or makes how they got those views, makes it more acceptable or just to be the word, right? It's like people that'll just keep fighting about something until, even though they're losing, but they won't give it up because they can't, right? Because then it makes everything they said absolute garbage, and they can't do that either. So it's a bit of a catch-22. But look, man, in this day and age, we know more and more people that are connected. Like, things are a lot more open. It's a lot more tolerant, which is how I started this with tolerance, and this is how we're going to finish it. I think that if that bothers you, that says more about where you are than anything else, because not everyone is going to have your worldview. Like I said, Catholicism might be the largest one, but there's a whole bunch of others there too, and some condemn it, some don't. There's some offshoots that do, there's some offshoots that don't. What I'm saying is that whatever you believe, it doesn't matter, because the other person gets to believe whatever they want to believe, and they get to live the life they are here to live, right? So I mean, I see nothing wrong with that, but I mean, everyone has their own opinion. Put yours in the comments below. If you stayed this far, I'm going to ask you, please share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, give your mom a call and say, hey mom, you should really check this guy out. He looks kind of weird, and he's got a rooster on the wall, but yeah, he's kind of funny. All right. Hashtag unemployable counselor. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care. And hey, whoever you are and whatever you do, just be yourself. It's all you need to do. Okay. Good night, everybody.